Good day, my people. You are welcome to today's political broadcast. Today is the 8th of December, 2025, and we are still discussing Nigerian politics. We have a very disturbing report. Very disturbing report. President Pres.Tinubu orders Nigerian military to stop military coup in Benin Republic. I repeat, President Pres.Tinubu orders the Nigerian military to stop military coup in Benin Republic. The Nigerian aircraft were seen hovering over Benin Republic, and there were said to be attacks on the coup plotter. Nigerian military drop bomb, attacked the coup plotters in Benin Republic, and that attack led to the failure of a coup, a almost successful coup in that country. Now, Nigerians are divided on this issue. Some Nigerians are asking that, why would the president intervene in Benin Republic? Is Benin Republic not a sovereign nation? They said that when US wanted to attack terrorists in Nigeria, the government said that Nigeria is a sovereign nation. Why is it that Tinubu would attack another sovereign nation without the approval of the Nigerian Senate according to the Constitution? These are the sentiments of Nigerians. Nigerians are divided over this Benin Republic issue. From what happened yesterday, you come to understand that majority of Nigerians want a military coup in Nigeria. Majority of Nigeria want a military coup. I told you some days ago that something will happen by the weekend, and it happened on Sunday morning when some soldiers, young soldiers, decided to arrest the president, in quote, and took over the country until Tinubu stepped in. Now, what are the issues? What are the issues with this Benin Republic? How would it affect Nigeria in the long run? What has it saved Nigeria from? Because when you look at it, look at the Sahel countries. We have Mali, Niger Republic, Chad, Sudan, Mauritania, Nigeria, Burkina Faso. Most of the Sahel countries have been taken over by the military. So Nigeria is one of the democracies that we have in the Sahel. Nigeria is part of the Sahel. Almost all the Sahel is being taken over by military. Burkina Faso, Chad, Niger, Mali. And we understand that a government that wants to protect its own democracy would not want a military coup close to its borders. When you look at Benin Republic and you look at Niger Republic, at a point in time, the president wanted to invade Niger Republic, but northern Nigeria, northern politicians kicked against it. So people are asking, okay, you are invading Benin Republic. Why didn't you invade Niger Republic? There are two different scenarios here, because the northern block of Nigeria kicked against it. But for Benin Republic, a lot of things happened. The government of the day demanded that Nigeria intervenes. I'm not defending the government, because the government should have consulted the Nigerian Senate before it carries out an act of war on another sovereign state. So Nigerians are divided on this particular action of the President Pres.Tinubu. Let's look at the issues. We are not talking about sentiment. Let's look at the issues. Personally, if I have my sentiment. Everybody has their sentiment. At the end of these issues, I will tell you my own sentiment, because I'm a human being. Number one, the issue is that Nigeria is a closed-door neighbor to Benin Republic. Nigeria is a closed-door. See Badagry. Badagry. Benin, Nigeria. Also, there is a border between Benin Republic and Niger State. So anything that happens, if coup, they are very close. If there's a coup that goes on, if the coup is successful in Benin Republic, that means Badagry and the Southwest will be affected. There's a lot of risks involved in that. If Nigeria is operating a democracy, in not distant time, there will be pressure on Nigeria, the military in Nigeria, to take over, just like what happened some weeks ago. A reported military coup that wanted to remove Pres.Tinubu and also kill some officials. You see, this pressure on the Sahel is going to tell on Nigeria, that has border with Benin Republic. Number two, Nigeria has an ethnic Yoruba affiliation with Benin Republic. Nigeria has an ethnic Yoruba affiliation. The way northern Nigeria has ethnic affiliation with the Niger Republic, it is the same way that the Lagos states, the Yoruba states, have ethnic affiliation with Benin Republic. In fact, Remember how Sunday Igboho escaped from the clutches of Buhari? Somebody said that Buhari wanted him to escape. But when he got to Benin Republic, a lot of Yoruba ethnic nationalities came and they had to defend him because he's a Yoruba man. So a lot of ties between the Yorubas and Benin Republic is also an issue. It's an issue. It may be sentimental to you, but this is an issue because Northerners are saying that you people want to... Let's move on. Now, the Minister of Foreign Affairs is said to be a Yoruba man. His name is Segun Ajadi Bakari. I repeat, the Minister of Foreign Affairs in Benin Republic is said to be a Yoruba man. His name is Segun, but his own Segun spelling is different. Here they call it, they write S-E-G-U-N, but there is S-H-E-G-U-N. Ajadi is, in this, our Nigeria, Ajadi is A-J-A-D-I, but their own Ajadi is A-D-J-A-D-I because of the French. No, French is a French Francophone colony. So they add some she and G there. Bakari, but that place is Bakari. B-A-K-A-R-I there. But here, B-A-K-A-R-E. So the Minister of Foreign Affairs is said to be a Yoruba man, Segun Ajadi Bakari. And he was one of the persons that demanded that the President Pres.Tinubu intervened in the crisis in Benin Republic. Mind you, there are so many sentiments about all these things that are the issues. Now, if Benin Republic is under military occupation, Nigeria's security will be threatened. I said that before. If Benin Republic is under military occupation, Nigeria's security will be threatened. A lot of weapons will be moving left, right, center. I tell you a lot. Benin Republic borders the southwest and Niger Republic and Niger State. Remember, Niger State is another danger zone. From Niger, you enter Kwara to Kogi. From Kogi, you enter Edo State. You start entering the southern part of this country. From the other side of Benin, you enter Badagry, Lagos, the southwest. So, weapon rustling is one of the issues. Yes. Now, the Nigerian government is seeking to fight. The Nigerian government is seeking to fight for democracy. Let me read this out from President Tinubu. Let me read it out. Now, President Tinubu has commended the gallantry of Nigeria's military on Sunday for responding swiftly to the request by the government of Benin Republic to save its 35-year-old democracy from coup plotters who struck at dawn today. So the Nigerian government is seeking, according to who is the head of the government, Bola Tinubu, don't be me. He's seeking to save 35-year-old democracy from coup plotters. I know some people watching me now, they have a different sentiment. I have my sentiment, you have your sentiment. But let's look at the issues and sometimes let's put in our sentiment. Now, let me read on. Acting on two separate requests from the government of Benin Republic of Benin, President Tinubu first ordered the Nigerian Airforce fighter jets to enter the country and take over the airspace to help dislodge the coup plotters from the national TV and a military camp where they had regrouped. So, the Nigerian government took over the airspace of Benin Republic. Now, you'll be asking, if Nigerian government has this kind of power, I told you one time, if you listen to my broadcast, I said, do not underrate Nigerian military. If the Nigerian military and politicians in northern Nigeria want to deal with the insecurity, if they want to deal with it, if we don't have bandits and saboteurs in the Nigerian military, all those ragtag, Iswap, Boko Haram and Fulani, whatever, they will be toasted. They will be toast. See how swiftly the government of the day took over the airspace of Benin Republic. Took over the airspace. Do you know what it is? Do you know the airspace? The Nigerian government took over the airspace of Benin Republic. It showed them that we are boss. It shows that we as a country called Nigeria, we can surmount our challenges, but because of some element that has vowed that Nigeria must work if they turn everybody to slaves. If they are the ones in control, they have said multicultural, multi-religious, multinational state like Nigeria. Some particular few people will say, now we won't control everybody by all means. We take over your lands. We are the owner. See, the occupation is what is making Nigeria not function. If not, the Nigerian military, I told you before that, in Aba, just recruit like 1,000 boys. Carry them, go camp. Train them, give them heavy weapon and artillery. You go see them. They go flush these bandits. Just look at what ESN was doing in the forests. As few as or under-equipped as ESN, you saw how they maintain stability in the forests in the southeast. So if the Nigerian government they know what to do, but they are playing politics with the lives of Nigerians. That's why I said, don't trust politicians. If you trust politicians, they support person because of saying your brother or Yoruba or Igbo, whatever. You are the one that is at loss. Okay? Now, first, Tinubu ordered Nigerian Airforce fighters jet to enter the country and take over the airspace to help dislodge the coup plotters from the national TV and military camp where they had regrouped. The Republic of Benin, through its Ministry of Foreign Affairs, like I said, that Yoruba man who is a Minister for Foreign Affairs, in a verbal note, requested immediate Nigerian air support in view of the urgency and seriousness of the situation and to safeguard the constitutional order, protect national institutions, and ensure the security of the population. In the second request, the authorities in Benin requested the deployment of Nigerian Air Force assets within Beninois airspace for surveillance and rapid intervention operations under Benin-led coordination. The Benin government also requested Nigerian ground forces strictly for missions. Nigeria, then inside, if you go to Badagry now, you see military everywhere. The borders are being mad. See, if there's instability in that neighboring country, with the action of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, there's a lot of repercussion. Nigeria will get ready for years of, hey, I should not say it on this channel. Like I said it, some things will happen in Nigeria that everybody will say, let us restructure the country. Everybody will come together. They go talk, say, let's restructure the country. I've said it before. I don't have any preview information of anything, but I'm reading the trends and I'm getting some things speak to me. I'm telling you. I told some people, say, by the end of this week, something will happen. Look at what happened. And you know the implication it has for Nigeria as a sovereign nation. There are reports that French president talked to Bola Ahmed Tinubu to help them restore their political and economic interests and colonial interest in Benin Republic. There are reports like that. There are two separate messages he sent. It's on Twitter. He put it on Twitter, having to ask the Nigerian government to restore a lot of... Okay, so the Nigerian forces are on ground in Benin Republic and also at the borders. Nigeria's Chief of Defense Staff General Olufemi Oluyede said all the requests have been fulfilled with Nigerian ground forces now in Benin. Yes, the people who have carried out the coup, they are nowhere to be found. Let's look at it. Let's read it. Constitutional order was upended in the Republic of Benin, Nigeria's neighbor, when some soldiers, led by Colonel Pascal Tigri, announced a coup on Sunday morning. The putschists seized the national TV and claimed they had toppled President Patrice and suspended all democratic institutions. It took some hours before the government loyal forces, assisted by Nigeria, took control and flushed out the coup plotters from the national TV. In his remarks, after the restoration of the democratic and constitutional order, President Tinubu saluted the Nigerian armed forces for standing firm as a protector and defender of democracy. Is Nigeria acting on the orders of France or acting on the orders of really looking at global politics, geopolitics, interest? Is Nigeria really acting on the order of Benin Republic, or it is acting on the order of France, or is acting on both the orders of France and the Benin Republic? Because I believe the order from France, the request from France, let's use a request and replace order so that it will not be as if they are commanding our president. But let me tell you, African governments are a puppet to the West, whether I like it or not. I told you that APC is a creation of the West, too. That this APC as a party is a creation of the colonial masters to topple the economy of Nigeria. This particular action by Tinubu is going to create chaos for the Sahel state against Nigeria. A lot of resentment will be on Nigeria from the Sahel states that are now military. You know, the Sahel has their own, ECOWAS. They have their own group, AES. So Nigeria will be at war, whether it is diplomatically, whether it is psychologically, whether it's physically, whether it's economically. Nigeria will be at war with the Sahel states, and we are on the same Sahel. Anything that affects one is likely to affect the others. Let's move on. What are the issues? Okay. I've said some of these things I wrote down. You said if Benin Republic falls under military, there will be a pressure for military takeover in Nigeria, and Tinubu does not want it. Yes. Most Sahel countries have been run over by the military. Nigeria seems to be the only country along the Sahel with a democracy. Because if you look at Benin Republic, one of the reasons why you see a change, a military takeover, is because the president, Pres.Tinubu, tweaked the constitution so that he will remain in power. I will want to point hands and put his hands at France. You know, France have puppets in the West, in Africa. So it seems like France wants to still use this man the more. And they used him to extend his tenure, change the constitution so that he can stay in power for a very longer time. That is why the people revolted, and these guys, the military guys, struck because of the president wanted to tweak the constitution so that he can stay longer in power. It's just like Tinubu now. He wants to stay amend the constitution so that he can stay for third term. If he does that, there will be a likely military coup, and the people will support it. See, from this thing that happened, like I told you before, you see, people, when we look at things, we use sentiment. I understand Nigeria for that. They are unrepentant. When they look at things, they must use sentiment. I told you that the APC does not have street credibility. Oh God. It looks like the APC is everywhere. Tinubu is everywhere. If they conduct a free and fair election in Nigeria, whereby everybody knows that if I vote, it will be counted. APC does not have street credibility. You see the number of people that want, you know, when some people say, okay, forget it is online, come offline. People don't have phone, people don't have access to internet. I have conversation with them every day, and I understand people's psychology. Come offline. You go know whether APC get. If APC is winning an election, they are winning an election through the structures they are building. They're not winning elections depending on the people, because normally APC they in the bad book of Nigerians. That is the normal thing. If you're an APC person, you understand what I'm saying. If you're an APC person in the grassroots, you should understand what I'm saying. Even in the AP, let me not talk that one. So let's move on. So we have Mali, Niger Republic, we have Chad, we have Sudan, Mauritania, Nigeria, Burkina Faso. All these countries are falling under military. Benin Republic is closest to Nigeria. If anything happens to Benin, there's trouble for the democratic government in Nigeria. The West, especially France, would not want a military coup in Benin Republic. It will affect its interest in francophone countries in Africa. Yes, France has interest in Benin Republic. The West, colonialist. You see how Nigeria, the Nigerian government, is aligning with colonialists under the guise of I want to stop a military coup takeover. I told you number one thing on Tinubu's mind is for him to spend 8 years. That is the next point. Tinubu doesn't want anything to stop him from completing his 8-year tenure as president. Now they are saying they want to protect democracy. So whatever that will stop Tinubu, he can abandon his structuring for him to complete that 8 years, because he believes under that 8 years is his right, number one, and number two, he will build a lasting legacy for himself politically before he can consider, and how he will be able to build that legacy would be restructuring. That is why I would say it is necessity. Necessity is the mother of invention. So because he wants to desperately build a political empire, he needs to restructure. So those things cannot be separated. If not, Tinubu wants to spend 8 years. If you like, we're gonna carry our head, go for war, go embrace transformer. I heard some people saying that let us protest. Nigerians need to wise. Protest under this system. Protest is what they expect you to do, so that they can carry a bad name and give dog and hang the dog. The people, these politicians, they have so much understood Nigerians to the extent that they will create a scenario whereby Nigeria will protest. Because your normal protest can never cause any change or effect any change in Nigeria under this political system. So Tinubu wants to spend his 8 years and nobody should stop him. Nobody should disturb him. If you want to disturb him, you are playing with fire. So what is my sentiment? I hope some people have watched to this moment. You know, data in Nigeria is not easy. Data in Nigeria is not easy. For you to watch something 20 minutes is not really easy. So my own is that our sovereignty is under threat. I don't care what is going on in Benin Republic. I don't care. The West is never a friend. We should not align with the West or European countries to attack our brothers in Africa. Because I told you, some of these guys are puppets of the West. If the French government will be asking Tinubu to attack Benin Republic, you should not be on the orders of the French government. Because I asked a question. Why did the government of the day attack Benin Republic? Is it because of the Beninois called for support, or because of the French pressure? Do you know that we interfered in some people's democracy or sovereignty? Do you know that the US wanted to help us? We said, don't interfere in our business. Although there are two different scenarios. So we need to understand that the only way we can survive is when Africa unites. If we keep fighting ourselves on the pretense of this or that, democracy is not good for Africa. Democracy will not take us anywhere. If you are practicing democracy, that is when the West go use democracy. They go enter you. They go build house for your head. You cannot compete with the West through democracy. People are afraid, okay, military take over. How has democracy helped you? We need to form our own systems. Even the Tinubu that is even trying to push one policy or the other, he's not even practicing democracy. He's using pseudo democracy or military kind of democracy. You can see in the APC, the house, now them cover everywhere. The influence, they are crippling opposition parties, a lot of things. Is that one democracy? Do you think you have freedom of speech in Nigeria? They have put you in a place, in a box. You can talk, you cannot talk past here. If you talk past here, they come after you. That is so if you are using democracy, if you allow the West to use you, we don't create big problem for ourselves. We might not see it under Tinubu regime, but in time to come, they will remember you that you attacked our state. Mind you, the people were in support of the coup, but the government institutions were not in support. Just like Nigeria, Nigerians are asking for a coup, for a coup. But the APC government will not want for a coup. The institutions will not want the same thing. Mind you, the government will come and go. The people still remain. May God help Nigerians.